what is it that a successor needs to know? And how do you prepare so that you are clear as an owner? Over the past, month or 2 months, we've been doing a lot of work with families who are thinking about bringing in their kids, and also families that are thinking about bringing in non-children. So how do they honor people? How do they give to the younger generation? How do they engage them so that they're excited about coming in? And it's been really fun doing that type of work. How do you prepare for that? And one of the ideas that I'd love to share with you is the idea of an invitation. They've got to be entrepreneurial. They've got to be smart. They've got to be ready to take on the challenges of being an owner and navigating all of the things that go with that. And so what's the invitation that you want to provide to them? What are your expectations? What are you hoping that they'll get to know? And how are you going to do that? So I think it's important to be able to articulate just what is the opportunity, what is going to be required of them. So what's going to be required of them, not only from a perspective of taking on a role and running a business going forward and, actually doing that job, but what's going to be required of them. So as you walk into your own opportunity to transition, your confidence, your clarity is so important to these successors, because their lives are going to be forever changed, and so will yours, with them coming in and you also leaving. I just had a birthday recently, and I'm starting to think about what's next in my world, what's next for me, and thinking about bringing in some younger people, and I'm actually in conversations with some of them. And as I walk through that, what I'm realizing and learning is how much they know that I don't know. How, if I'm open to it, how much they could bring to the next level of what we're doing here. And there's appreciation in that. So if I have fear of me not knowing and me not understanding, and if I'm not open to some of the new thoughts and new ideas or even new approaches because they do things differently, then what happens is I lose the opportunity. I lose the opportunity for me to learn, and I also lose the opportunity for the business maybe to grow differently. And my fear drives me to create lack of trust. I'll give you a great example, and it's an old one, but it continues to pop up. I'll tell you, even as recent as last week with a client that we're working with now, but an owner saying, you know what, my successor isn't in the office. They're not in the office. They're not in the office enough. I don't see them. They should be here early in the morning, and they should stay and be the last one out. And some of that thinking, I know where that came from, probably from a time when we didn't have even voicemail, and you actually had to be at the office to get the phone call. The idea that you have to manage somebody in person in an office shifted so much over COVID that I think we're getting a little bit used to that, the virtual concept. But as an owner, you still, I think, believe that it's important for people to be in the office, and that this new CEO owner probably needs to be more present. And that's a concept that is real. I don't know that it's valid anymore. However, successors are judged by how connected they are, how much potentially an owner sees them in the office. And I know that's not everybody, but I'm just giving you the example because this is something that continues to pop up. What happens is with a lack of clear expectations, the current owner starts to have fear. And with that fear, then judgment. And then with the judgment, lack of trust. And it's interesting because I was in a workshop, a few weeks ago. And one of the things that I took away from that I've really been pondering is the idea of that lack of trust equates to a lack of gratitude. Believe that the successor has best of intent to do everything that they can, and they're doing their very best and making their very best decisions. And I have gratitude for them. So gratitude that, you know what, I have a successor. Isn't that amazing? And I have a successor who really wants this company or wants the business. And I have a successor who's willing to engage. And I have a successor who's willing to learn. And I have a successor who's willing to maybe make mistakes, and who knows that they can get up and go again. And that they even like working with me. That's pretty amazing. So again, those ideas of gratitude, living in the gain of what is actually happening and the progress that you're making versus living in the gap of everything that the successor may or may not be doing or may not be doing the way you think it should be done or may not be, even maybe making a couple of mistakes that are pretty tough that they have to navigate through. The successor needs a long runway if they are going to come in and take over for you. Because remember, you have all this background, all this experience. You've been through the good and the bad times. You know how to run the company really well. They do not. You've got a lot of knowledge and a lot of background. So as they come in, not only do they have to learn, hopefully, some of your wisdom because you're passing that on, but they also have to do it themselves. They have to go out and they have to make some mistakes. They have to go out and earn people's confidence, earn people's trust, talking about, accountants, lawyers, bankers, insurance agents, anybody who they need financial, support from, which could include vendors. They have to know all those people. They have to earn the respect also of the employees. They have to know, how to engage them, how to get them going and keep things working. So as they earn that respect, they are going to go through some pretty tough times. And you are going to be their kind of the wind beneath their wings. Hopefully you're the safe spot to come to. Their learning curve is so much bigger than yours. Your learning curve, supporting them, getting out of the way, creating that environment for them to feel successful and to make good decisions and to be there when they need you, to help them gain confidence and clarity. Their learning curve is taking over an entire business that potentially they've never run before, and then trying to figure out how to keep you happy, for one thing, and earn all the people's respect. And how do you do that? You have to be pretty on top of things to be able to do that, because there are a lot of moving parts, as you are well aware.